Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over. On this podcast, we talk about everything from dating and relationships to personal development. We also speak very candidly about the F word, and by that, I mean failure. So grab a pen, tag a friend, and let's talk about it. All of it. Undergoing, overcoming, and simply trying to make it through. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I am super excited that you have made it back to my platform. I am recording this on Sunday evening for Monday, December the 4th. And guys, I'm just blown away that it's already December. Like, where did the year go? When I really sit down and think about it, there has been so much growth, so many transformations, so many fresh starts. I have worked with so many people this year, and I'm incredibly proud of the transformation that my business has had, but also the transformation that I have experienced as a coach. And I'm super excited about my clients and all that they have accomplished and all that they are going to accomplish in the new year. So last month, I really poured into the girl who is anxious about the holiday, super stressed, and I did a poll in the Plot Twist community group. That's my free Facebook community. If you don't know, I'll link it in the show notes. You please join. We'd love to have you. And this month, they wanted the focus to be, you wanted the focus to be on how we could manage anxiety and stress during this season. I will do a brief segment on managing grief and loss during this season and probably a masterclass. And then we'll also talk about choosing joy, being intentional. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you one of the primary ways that I choose joy, I manage stress and anxiety. It's something that I do every year during this season, but I also do it about quarterly. And if you've been following me for a while, it's not going to surprise you that I tell you to do this. And that is managing your intake. Manage your intake. Now, I know when I say holidays and I say manage your intake, lots of people immediately think I'm talking about food. But in this situation, no, ma'am. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, and social intake. I truly want you to, over this week, start creating a force field around yourself so that you are not exposing yourself to so much stuff and so that you're not vulnerable to the attacks of comparison. And we do that to ourselves. Comparison is the thief of joy, and 'tis the season. 'Tis the season for baby announcements and engagements and surprise like New Year's weddings and Christmas bonuses and seeing people take their families on these huge expensive vacations and people in their stupid pajamas and their kids all have pajamas and everybody's buying these crazy expensive gifts and you're like, ugh. And I know that you do that because I've done that. I've been there. And if we aren't careful, that comparison of why am I not keeping up? Why is it always them? When is it going to be my turn? It will literally destroy you. It will literally destroy you. And so managing our intake is going to allow us to remain in control. And it's going to help us remind ourselves how we can master our emotions. If you want to talk more about mastering your emotions, you can do Get a Grip Gorgeous with me. It's a one-on-one program where we seriously look into emotions that you're having that are causing you extreme stress or grief. And we figure out how to navigate those emotions and we create a system or a plan specifically for you on how to overcome them or how to work around those emotions so that you don't have meltdowns in the public. Okay? Like major key. If you're interested, just DM me Get a Grip and we'll talk about it. Okay? So managing your intake. So you see all these people doing all these amazing things, right? And it's like cue FOMO. And then you're like hyperventilating. You're like, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my turn? So I want you to take at least 15 to 20 minutes each day this week, starting today on Monday. And I want you to unfollow the drama. Unsubscribe from the madness. Now, if it's a person on Facebook, I actually did it over the weekend. If it's a person on Facebook, there's a cool feature called snooze. You can snooze them for 30 days. And you know what? You won't see that person, that girl, that guy, whoever it is, that group. You cannot look at that for 30 days. We'll see in the new year. We'll see if they still trigger you and make you feel like that like so upset, okay? So you don't have to unfriend them or unfollow them. You could snooze them, but unfriend or unfollow is absolutely fine because at the end of the day, it's social media. We're not children. You do not have to be friends with everyone. You do not have to be friends with everyone. I'm repeating it because sometimes we feel obligated. Don't feel obligated. It's your platform. Okay. So, really look at your social media. I say often to the girl who's waiting on the ring, the girl who is waiting for the proposal, unfollow all of those jewelry companies, unfollow all of those wedding dress sites on Instagram. Stop looking at that every single day. You are torturing yourself. And for the girl that's like, well, Kayla, I'm manifesting. Take a photo of the actual ring and the actual dress that you're interested in. Put that in a private file in your phone. Look at it a couple of times a day, a couple of times a week, or whatever you're doing, but stop following it on social media. That is an excuse to torture yourself. When you start overanalyzing things, you create situations that aren't even happening. And so all day long, you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And it creates this energy that pushes your partner away. I'm telling you what I know. Okay. So don't do that. Unsubscribe from that. If it's a person, if it's a group that these women do all of these things and it's like, I'm never going to get to go on a vacation like that. Stop that. Snooze the group. Start figuring out how you stack your money. You can go on a vacation that makes you and your family happy. Comparison is the thief of joy. Okay, I'm off of that soapbox. Let's move on to music. Your music has a direct influence on you and your behavior and your thoughts and your emotions. I love SZA. I love Rod Wave. But baby, this ain't the season to be listening to them because everything is sad, everything is depressing, everything is, when are you going to love me? When are you going to choose me? When am I going to be enough? We're not doing that right now. So what I need you to do over the next couple of weeks is create a feel-good playlist. Feel-good playlist. I want Michael Jackson. I want Outkast. I want all the good stuff that makes you want to dance. And that's what we're going to listen to. I even suggest like using Christmas music that's instrumental or instrumental music of your favorite, like feel-good jams. I have also been listening to Andre 3000. Speaking of Outkast, I've been listening to Andre 3000's new album, New Blue Sun. It's just flute music. It's great if you are a yogi girl, if you are a meditator. I've been listening to it in the background when I do documentation or auditing at work. But it's just music that, listen, that right there is a whole like cleansing. It cleanses your musical palette. It is so needed. Regardless, do not spend this entire season listening to the Eagles and all these sad Christmas songs talking about the love of your life didn't show up and your dog is gone and this is first. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. And it does not mean that we're dismissing the fact that we could be sad at Christmas. It means that we are not going to marinate in that sadness, okay? So it can be there, but we're not marinating in it. Thirdly, we are going to really reduce the amount of news that we're watching. If you're watching the news first thing when you wake up in the morning, catching it at midday, scrolling on your phone, you get the news alerts and then watching it, the 5 o'clock news and then 10 o'clock before you go to bed, that's too much. That's too much. If you're watching the news twice a day, that's too much. What I want you to take into consideration is if anything major happens, you're going to get an alert on your phone. It's going to be all over Facebook, all over Instagram, all over everything. So you're not going to miss anything. But what we're not going to do is to constantly expose ourselves to all of the violence, all of the war, all of the politics and gossip and disgruntledness and race baiting. We're not doing that. We're not. So unfollow new stuff on your social media or stop watching it all over TV, okay? And then if you have those alerts set up to go directly to your phone, take those off. Snooze them. Snooze them. Unless there's something going on that you just have to be a part of, let's not do that because it's just constantly triggering your body and your mind to think that that's normal. It's not normal. And what we don't want to do is reduce our sensitivity to things that are actually terrifying. Let's not do that. Lastly, and most certainly not least, we are going to filter, manage, and monitor our interaction with other people. This is the time of year where people want to reach out to you. Hey, big head. And it's like, no, I'm not big head. You hadn't talked to me in 3.5 months. You have not had a change of heart. You need housing. Like, you don't like me. We need to be very mindful of the negative Nancys, the Debbie Downers, the gossiping Gabbies, because people want to connect with someone. When you are a gossiper, gossiping is a form of bonding. Gossiping is a form of bonding. It's maladaptive and a very poor skill, but it's a form of bonding. People who gossip are really looking for connection. And there are so many better ways that we can connect with people. So just be very mindful of that. Do not allow that to crowd your space. Reduce your interaction with those people. I suggest, I often suggest, I have spent a lot of time with my family. I spent a lot of time with my sister, but I learned to enjoy my own company. Now, that doesn't mean I never see my line sisters, and that doesn't mean I never see my friends or don't hang out with my boyfriend, but I have learned to truly enjoy my own company. I will take myself to a movie. I will take myself to dinner. I will do things solo. Why? Because I'm a trustworthy person and I'm pretty dope. And so are you. But we have to learn how to do that, okay? So just be mindful of those things. You're like, Kayla, if I unfollow all these people and I stop watching the news and I stop listening to the music I'm listening to, what am I going to do? We are going to replace that music or replace TV shows with audiobooks, with podcasts. Like right now, I love Jay Shetty on Purpose. I listen to the Mel Robbins podcast. And then my coach is Chrissy Connor. I listen to those things constantly on a repeat. So it's always something self-development, something motivating, something to push me in the direction of my goals. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but everything that I intake is something that's going to take me to the next level. Also, you could listen or look for on YouTube, like affirmation videos. So if you're listening to need something in the background while you're working, listen to an affirmation video on YouTube. Listen to a guided meditation on YouTube. Look for things that are not flooded with sales and comparisons and making you feel bad about yourself, and things that are going to make you more depressed. Like anything that's like that, scrap it. Scrap it, because during this season, we truly need to guard our minds and guard our hearts. And that, again, doesn't mean that we're pretending to be happy. It just means we are being hyper vigilant and aware of things that could rob us of the joy that we do find. I love you. I want the best for you. I cannot wait to see you. I cannot wait to see your transformation. And I'll be looking for you in the plot twist. The link will be in the show notes. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Well, gorgeous girl, that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you found value, insight, or strength. I hope something was said that gave you the courage to push on a little while longer toward the life of your dreams. If you felt motivated during this segment, screenshot this and throw it in your stories and tag me on social. That way we can keep the message going. Have an excellent day on purpose, and we, girl, will talk